welcome to the Academic Alehouse. I am your host, Clayton. I am joined, as always, by the man sipping head out of his drink, Ryan.
You wish.
I said sipping head out of his drink.
Quit fantasizing.
Anyway, what are you drinking?
Actually, believe it or not, I'm actually drinking an American brew. It is Altstadt beer out of Fredericksburg, Texas. I went on a very harrowing road trip to Fredericksburg, had one with my lunch, loved it absolutely, and decided to buy a case. So I am drinking a beer made right here in the heart of Texas. I would highly recommend, by the way. I may actually switch over to this brand. We'll see. I like it that much. That good.
That's impressive.
And what about you, my friend? What horrible concoction are you swilling today?
I, being myself, do not enjoy beer, but I do occasionally dabble in the hard liquor.
I would call you gay, but you are.
Exactly.
I got nothing there except that you have no taste.
I have also taken a page out of your book and gotten a very large glass.
That's how I do it.
So I have the equivalent of the meme, lots of vodka in here.
But you're not drinking vodka.
But instead, it is Fireball and Coke.
I mean, okay. But yes, a large glass does tend to speed the process up. Now you know why we beer drinkers do it that way. It means you have to get up less. When you get up, you have to pee, and when you pee, the night's over.
Yeah. It's been an insane week, though.
Yeah, what is with so many people doing so many things? We can't pick one topic to nail down anymore.
We can't. We've done this 3 weeks in a row, I think. 3 weeks in a row of just episodes. Not punt, not cocktail titles, nothing. I've just titled them News and Booze.
Because there's so much shit going on. They can't take a fucking... Congress, for a Congress that does nothing, they sure keep us busy.
No kidding.
Speaking of things that we've done multiple times, guess what we missed here in the great city of San Antonio today?
What did we miss?
The Rickmobile. Yeah, it was here today. I meant to go, but I went to Fredericksburg to tour a brewery instead. Because, you know, I'm an adult.
Yeah.
It's somehow better. I was thinking that, you know, we've done more news and booze than they've done interdimensional cable, and personally, I think we did it better.
Fair enough.
That being said, the new season of Rick and Morty is generating news. That's coming out soon. Pretty soon, right? 12 days?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. It's not a show I enjoy, but when I'm drunk, I enjoy a lot of things that I don't enjoy when I'm sober. Tacos, Rick and Morty.
I used to enjoy Rick and Morty.
Taco Bell,
But as I watched it, I found myself not enjoying any of the characters involved.
Here's the secret. Do it drunk. Same as soccer.
Haven't-
Do it drunk.
Haven't done.
I'm telling you, it makes it better. Every time I've watched Rick and Morty shit-faced, it's the best show I've ever seen next to Futurama. Sober, don't like it. Just like soccer. Watching it sober, it's a sport. Watching it drunk, most exciting fucking thing I've ever heard. And I know our viewers don't care, but I feel the need to point this out. The Bavarian team, Bayern Munich, the symbolized team for Germany, they go to the World Cup for Germany. Mm-hmm. Basically, most of Germany's World Cup team plays for Bavaria. They win the German league every fucking year. It's worth noting that they got their asses kicked today by a team nobody's heard of, 5-1, Eintracht Frankfurt. And that makes me happy because while I enjoy their beer, I despise the Bavarian football team.
Why? Because they're assholes?
They are, and 90% of the team is from Brazil. But they win every year. It sucks because, nobody else wins. It's who's going to finish second, and that makes the German league boring. There are many teams on the German soccer league I like. Hamburg being my favorite, Wolfsburg being another one, Fortuna Dusseldorf being a third. None of them having a shot to win because Bayern Munich buys the best players money can buy from Brazil, which is not fair. So the fact that they got beat 5-1 by a team I've only heard of twice before this makes me happy in a sadistic kind of way. Our viewers don't care, but I care, and for maybe like the one person who likes soccer who listens out of the four of us, which is me, it was mentioned because they don't lose often. They crush teams that I like 5-1 very routinely. So for them to lose 5-1 is nice. Soccer, better drunk. Rick and Morty, better drunk. I'm going to get lynched on YouTube for that one.
Oh, I think we missed something in our in our gathering of news this week.
What did we miss?
Trump got lynching to trend on Twitter.
How?
I don't remember. I've slept since then.
Sleep? In a coffin, I assume. Bedazzled coffin. You know, because you're gay. I assume it's bedazzled and plays its raining men when it's opened. Look, when the archaeologists find you, they're in for a surprise. Spring load that motherfucker.
Go on. Keep coming with the cliche, with the gay man cliches.
What part of that was emo? Every part of that was sparkly.
The coffin is not sparkly.
It could be.
The coffin is hands down the most emo thing ever.
Not if it's bedazzled.
Anyway.
Okay, so moving on to what terrible things happened this week. People in DC do things that make me cringe, and we're going to talk about them. This is the whole premise of this podcast.
So, I think we'll save this first thing on my list for last, because it's going to be the most fun.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's the Washington Post stuff.
Oh, God.
So, yeah.
Oh, God.
We're going to save that for last.
There is no God in this room right now. Okay, so what are we doing first?
Impeachment.
Do we have to?
Yes.
Okay, well, happy Halloween, everybody else. October is over, and therefore my Christmas is over, and I hate you all again. But for Halloween, Nancy Pelosi decided to go to someone who's not getting reelected. I heard about the impeachment proceedings.
Yep.
The Nancy Pelosi who 2 months ago said, unless it's a bipartisan effort, we're not going to go for impeachment, in fact went for impeachment, and everybody's confused.
Everybody's confused. But then... So, the story of the impeachment so far, for those of you who haven't been keeping up.
The three of you and maybe John. Is John with us? We'll see.
No, he's not with us.
Aww.
He's not with us right now. Sorry, John.
He'll show up. He always shows up.
Probably.
I have faith.
They usually come in around 10 minutes, so. So, basically, the story of impeachment so far has been Nancy Pelosi, the Democrats have been pushing for impeachment since Trump got elected.
Well, no shit.
Because they don't like him. Finally, Pelosi in, I think, late August, early September,
got bamboozled into supporting it.
Officially announces impeachment.
Bamboozled.
Yeah, she was bamboozled into supporting impeachment. Then,
after furiously violating an intern.
So the inquiries begin.
Yes.
And so now... we find ourselves in a situation where last week we covered a story where the Republicans basically stormed a closed-door Democratic deposition.
Quote, quote.
And essentially sat and ordered pizza while Adam Schiff ran away.
The fact that nobody tackled Adam Schiff is the problem with America. I'm just saying, I feel like Reagan would have tackled his ass. Pinned him down and made him watch them eat the pizza.
Anyway, but
just saying.
Apparently these continued. But what the Republicans did by basically putting pressure on the Democrats by saying, hey, we don't like that this is closed door. We want transparency. We want this out in the open. Well, the Democrats basically took that bait and said, sure, we can do this out in the open. Make the proceedings formalized. So they did. And the Republicans almost unanimously voted no.
Two Democrats, too.
Two Democrats, yes. Which should tell you how fractured the Democratic Party is.
That two of them stepped out?
That two of the Democratic Party went against the majority and said, this is a bad idea.
So, House elections in 2022 are going to be lit.
Yes. So now, walking into... the rest of the year, because Pelosi's goal was to hold impeachment over Trump's head as a sort of roadblock
to the presidency.
Let's be real, a speed bump on Donald Trump's road to the presidency.
Well, Pelosi has become a speed bump. Dum, dum. What was that? The death of the Democratic Party. Why does it smell like martini? Don't worry about that. Man, Pelosi's intern must be raw this week.
There is an intern there is a White House staff, there is a Congress staffer that's raw, but we'll get to that in a moment.
Hey, look, the thing is I still like to publicly portray Nancy Pelosi as Mallory Archer. And the intern that she's roped into doing nasty things with her probably can't sit down this week. She takes out her Trump frustrations on him or her. It really could go either way. I like to think of it as a him. And, well, to be fair, he's probably sitting on one of those, those tubes like they give you on airplanes. He's probably sitting on one of those this week because she decided that she needed to take out some extra frustration while sipping her dry martini. How dry, you ask? Dust on the olive. At this point, Pelosi, her state is on fire. An electric company in her state is shutting 1 million people's power off because it can. And the Trump impeachment proceedings are not going well. Once again, I mean, not that I ever wanted to be Nancy Pelosi, but I'm really glad I'm not Nancy Pelosi right now.
Oh, yeah.
Sucks to be you. I actually kind of feel for her. She's trying her best to keep the facade that the Democratic Party has had going for many years up of, we're not here to take your guns, we're just like you. Meanwhile, the radical left, they're burning a gay pride flag going, we're gonna kill you all! And she's like, we're not with them. They've got your picture on the wall. We're not with them.
We don't claim them, but they're part of your party. We don't claim them.
They are what Pepe the Frog and the alt-right are to the Republicans, yet somehow worse.
Yet somehow
because they're
the Republicans
losing.
have managed to distance themselves from them successfully.
And yet the Democratic Party, not so much.
Well, the Democratic Party also invited them in.
That, I think, was the problem.
The social justice warriors are like vampires. If you say, no, you can't come into my house, they can't come in.
But yet, if you let them in, your whole family turns out being really pale, sickly, and sparkly, depending on what version you go with.
Yeah.
Yes, well, that's what they get, and social justice warriors all deserve to be relocated.
Good play. So
relocated
so the impeachment proceedings have now become partisan hackery.
No.
Due to a move by the Republicans.
No. The impeachment proceedings being partisan? No. Why don't you tell us next what color the sky is? That'll be breaking news. More so than the fact that the impeachment proceedings are partisan. No shit.
The sky doesn't technically have a color. It's just an optical illusion.
You want to know what else is an optical illusion? A united Democratic Party.
Fair enough. But anyway, yes. Now that thanks to the Republicans voting unanimously, no, we don't need these impeachment proceedings
because he did nothing wrong.
Because
you want to know who else did nothing wrong? You know what? That's another podcast. The point is, Trump did nothing wrong.
Yep.
And so did other people.
Trump did nothing wrong. Yes, I knew where you were going with it. I'm ignoring it.
I don't know what you're talking about. Trump did nothing wrong.
Trump did nothing wrong.
And you want to know what I like about Trump? Is that the people who hate him are useless. Let me tell you a little personal story. Today, while driving my 1973 Volkswagen, I broke down. And I didn't break down just anywhere. Because that would be boring. I broke down in front of a stand. And at this stand were 16 different varieties of Make America Great Again hats and 37 different varieties of Trump flags. You want to know what they did? They helped me push my broken-ass Volkswagen and asked for nothing in return. Now, I didn't buy a Make America Great Again hat because I don't want to be assaulted in the liberal hellhole we live in.
Fair enough.
But I guarantee you if I broke down in front of a re-elect Nancy thing, somehow they would have tried harder to separate money from me. These people helped me push my Volkswagen and then fucked off. Like, oh, hey, thanks. Like, I didn't even have time. They were gone. Trump supporter. But then again, you also get, like, your ship heroes.
Yeah.
But you want to know who's never helped me push a car? A Democrat. I'm just saying, if I want to break down in front of, who's the front runner of the Democratic Party now? Or have we decided?
It's up in the air.
Right. So if I broke down in front of a old white guy or old white lady stand or Make America Great Again stand, I did not feel at all threatened breaking down in front of the Trump stand. Now this is a millennial breaking down in shorts in a hippie van that shit out in the middle of the street. And yet they helped me. Now, I probably should have bought a Make America Great Again hat. I'll be back down there the next weekend. I'm sure I'll break down there again. But the point is, I would not feel that great breaking down in a more democratic area. Because I might not have left with my bus, and I most certainly probably wouldn't have left with my craftsman tools. Which I carry on me, because honestly, it's not my first time. My point is, as far as America goes, my choices as I would consider myself an independent voter are Trump supporters who so far as I know, have been accused of more hate crimes than they've actually committed. Which, honestly, have there been any real hate crimes?
There's been a few.
Okay. We'll get to that, because I'm actually interested. Because every other hate crime that, like, makes the news turns out to be a hoax.
Yeah.
Like the African-American girl in New Jersey who said that a bunch of 8-year-old or 12-year-old white boys cut her dreadlocks and called her nappy.
Yeah.
I didn't know what nappy meant until I was 27. So that fell apart pretty quick. Or the hate crime of the Catholic kid and the Indian chief.
Speaking of that...
Are we getting to that?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll gloss over that then. What about the hate crime of the guy who kept spraying...
No, that involves the Washington Post. We're saving that till the end.
Oh, God. What about the anti-Semitism of Make America Great Again and swastikas being spray painted on a church that was done by a black guy?
Yeah.
A lot of the hate crimes I hear about as just, an average Joe. I'm not a masochist. I don't go looking for this shit. That's his job. Many things about him. He enjoys pain on a lot of fronts. He could tell you more about it. But all the ones I hear about on the news turn out to be fake. My favorite one, Jesse Smollett. Oh, yeah,
he's in court again.
Good!
Yeah, he's in court again.
Because, we all gotta watch out for those racist Nigerians wearing MAGA hats. His shit is the best
Trump
shit.
Country. This is Trump country.
Yeah, Detroit is Trump country. He was in Detroit, right?
He was in Detroit. It was 2 a.m. and there was a blizzard. And he was going to Subway. Like, he was going to Subway at 2 a.m. I'm sorry. I haven't seen a Subway that's open 24 hours.
I have, one time, and it was great, because on the way there I almost ran over a prophet.
What?
That's another story for another time.
Alright.
But the point is, at no point when I'm in Detroit do I think this is Republican country. Yes, so, according to Jesse Smollett, downtown Detroit is Trump country. Also, according to me, Austin is also Trump country. So is Juarez, Mexico City, all Trump country. And you know what? So is Beijing. Because if we're making shit up, let's go big. Mm-hmm. Beijing is Trump country, and if you walk down there in a Democratic shirt, you'll get mugged by 5 Chinese guys in a Make America Great Again hat made in the USA. Maybe.
Anyway.
Detroit is Trump country. Oh,
Moving
God.
on to our next item on the news.
Okay.
Beto dropped out. Thank
Oh,
God.
no.
We don't have to mention him again. Nobody likes him.
But he was my favorite one. What am I supposed to do with these igloo blocks? Yes, they were very large blocks of ice that I was planning on making a larger than normal igloo, a big igloo, so you could say. I was very prepared for the big igloo, but I guess there's not going to be any igloo now, which means I need to put certain items and my Venga Boy soundtrack away.
For now.
So, no Beto, no igloo?
No Beto, no igloo.
Aww. So now what?
Oh, well, apparently he dropped out because nobody likes him.
No shit!
Apparently he's also not seeking re-election.
Thank God! Fucking Hitler in the middle of Bavaria in 1945. I don't think I'm going to run for re-election. I think people might be mad at me.
Nah.
Nobody likes me. I wonder why. Not only is he further polarized the radical left, he's a dipwad.
Yeah. But speaking of presidential candidates.
Oh, God. Rotten hell, Beto, I hate you. Moving on.
Ass Raider.
Ass Raider?
Well,
That's what I call you behind your back, but who are you talking about?
Booty Judge?
Him.
Yeah, ass raider.
You know what? I still throw my weight behind Gabbard on the Democratic Party. Why? She's hot and she's crazy. That's a perfect cocktail for me.
You may not like her stance on gun control, though.
No, but the fact that she's fucking wearing a tinfoil hat right now from Hawaii, kind of hot, and a veteran, fuck it. If I'm going to vote for a communist, it may as well be a communist that at least wore a uniform. And honestly, Gabbard is like one hair away from being red-pilled.
Yeah,
she is.
True enough.
And I don't care what anyone says. She's fine. I like what I see. A little tinfoil hat action. You know what? If I had to vote for a Democrat, gun to my head, it'd be Tulsi.
But basically, Booty Judge, the most electable
gay man in history, other than Buchanan.
The most electable candidate in the Democratic field right
Gabbard.
No.
She's the most electable.
Who polls well enough to be considered in the top 4.
Hey, look, you gotta fight crazy with crazy. Elect Tulsi. She's hot and she's crazy. Men. You know you like that combo. Why? Look at the stabbing reports. Half of them are from women. Don't ask me where I got that statistic, because I completely made it up.
But basically, Buttigieg right now, because Warren might have peaked.
Warren peaked in 1955.
Warren might have peaked in terms of her moving up on Biden. So if Biden loses in a key state and Buttigieg pulls ahead and Buttigieg does well, he could very well be the nominee. This all depends, of course,
on Biden not fucking trying to get a hold of the nuclear football by force, Warren not claiming to be a Sioux war chief, and Buttigieg not doing something stupid.
All of these are correct.
Okay.
Of course, Biden has an issue where
they handed him an actual football and he thinks it's the nuclear football?
No, where he can no longer speak coherently.
I mean, I'm having that problem right now, but to be fair, I'm like 9 beers in.
So apparently, there was an ad that ran in probably New Hampshire, I think.
Did it start with "I'm the Vice President of the United States"?
No.
And then start showing Vietnam pictures for some reason?
No.
Okay.
So basically, at the end, the candidate gives their endorsement, like, "Hey, blah blah."
Please tell me Joe endorsed Bernie.
No.
Darn.
I'm Joe Biden and I approve this message. Please donate $5. Blah blah blah. Well, apparently, when he couldn't get through that, he literally couldn't say 3 lines on a script that he likely had in front of him.
Okay. Was he hungover?
I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, there have been some hangovers I've had where I can't get through 3 lines of speech, but I feel like Joe's partying days are behind him. And for our viewers, I want you all to picture Joe Biden doing a keg stand and a Speedo.
Yeah.
You give me 20 minutes with Joe, that's going to be my goal. I'm going to get him drunk. Why? Because I'm going to convince that man by the time the beer is run out that he's a superhero. But then again, I'm also Satan, so...
But basically...
Justice Man!
Think about it this way. A commercial takes about a day to shoot.
Does it?
A commercial takes about a day to shoot.
I don't know. You tell me.
Yes.
Okay.
Just
commercials are for people who have cable.
As a general marker.
Commercials are for people who are too poor to afford a premium service.
Basically, they can spend as much time as they need to have him record this line, and they went with a take that makes him look like he can't string 2 words together. He can't. They did the best they could. What does that say about his current mental state?
Or there are some Pepe boys who switch the tape.
Fair enough. I'll give you that one.
Saboteurs are a thing on both sides, and I'd like to think that we have some frog boys that are just like, nah, switch.
Since we're still in the realm of Washington, D.C., let's talk about Congresswoman Katie Hill.
Who the fuck is that?
Congresswoman Katie Hill is she's a bad, bad girl. I don't mean in like the motorcycle riding 90s kind of way. I mean in the
emails and collude with the Russians but blame other people for doing it kind of way?
No,
okay,
I mean the tie me up and spank me daddy kind of way.
Hell yeah. Alright, tell me more about Representative Katie Hill.
Well, she's resigning.
Aw.
Because photos of her
Mm-hmm.
naked doing a staffer's hair, a female staffer's hair.
Hold on. Doing a staffer or doing a staffer's hair?
Doing a staffer's hair. But there was a sexual relationship there. She was also seen on multiple wife-sharing websites.
Ooh.
And she has a tattoo of an iron cross.
I mean, I'm sold. She's got my vote.
Give me a moment.
I'm just saying, so far we've got a congressman who is more transparent than anything I've ever seen, who has an iron cross on her butt, which, you know, is not necessarily Nazi-esque, just for the record, who also apparently does naked hairstyling.
She was also one of the principal accusers in Kavanaugh.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
She also looks like this.
I mean, I am 9 beers in. But, hold on. There's some other pictures here. Don't get me wrong. Her face is unfortunate, but that's not the part I'd be looking at. No, that's unfortunate too. Huh. I mean, don't get me wrong. Again, we do this show drunk. You're showing a straight man, a blonde girl who does wife sharing, who's drunk. I mean, would this be my fantasy football team? No, but at 2 a.m., bars closing, and her husband wants to watch? Meh.
So, yeah.
But Kavanaugh accuser is kind of funny.
Yeah, she was one of the people that railed for Kavanaugh not to be...
Now, that makes the argument valid, but personally, why does it matter if our congressman doing some freaky-deaky shit? I don't care.
Well, she's resigning of her own volition. No one's making her do it.
Let's be real. She has to do it.
Personally, I don't give a fuck.
Not really, no. She wants to go
I have
shared
issues with
by...
her fucking her staffer, but...
Who cares?
That's an ethical
But
that's
she's
a
not
more ethical...
fucking the president.
Yeah, exactly.
She's not fucking someone of authority above her. Now, she seems to be abusing her authority, sure. But in the grand scheme of things, what is one...
Though,
she's a freak. Who cares?
What's funny, though, is she released a statement claiming that it was her husband.
Ooh, she threw her husband under the bus.
Who released so-called revenge porn.
Are they still together?
No, they're seeking divorce.
Now, but where they were together before everything came down.
Yes.
And you said wife sharing.
Yes.
Now, I'm not going to claim that I know a lot about it.
There
but...
is evidence that she either was fully aware these pictures were being taken and okayed them being released.
You kind of have to for the wife sharing.
Yeah.
Which means he was also present.
Yeah. And then there's a text from between her and the staffer she was fucking.
Okay.
That was very much read like sort of, here's this pretty diamond necklace because I hit you, I'm sorry I hit you.
Did she hit the staffer?
No, but women abuse people in different ways.
And well, if the Bundy principle is to be believed, that is very true. However, I don't care. And America can side against me. I don't care if my congressman decides to dress up as a teenage girl and be pegged by his wife. That's his business.
I agree.
And if it ends up on the internet, that's really his problem.
I have no issue with her being a sexual freak.
However,
I really don't. My issue comes...
Kavanaugh would have been a good time to keep your fucking mouth shut.
Yeah. Well, Kavanaugh's... I have issues with her fucking a staffer, but that's more me desiring...
Well, that's you.
Holding politicians to be somewhat ethical.
Right. I've given up on that.
In their...
I am what they call black-pilled. I don't care who they bang, as long as they're 18 and consenting, I don't care. However, if you're gonna be about that life, which by the way, I don't even care that Bill was doing it with Monica. That says more about Hillary to me than it does about Monica and Bill.
Oh God, yes.
But, and can you blame him? I don't.
I really don't either. I've seen younger Hillary.
No.
It's not worth
I don't blame Bill. Was he a bastard? Yes. Can I blame him? Not really. I don't care that she's a deviant. I don't even care that she's fucking a staffer. That's really her business. But if you're going to be about that life, when the charges of a rival political figure come up of being a sexual deviant, that's the glass houses and stones. That would be a very good time to shut the fuck up.
That would be a very good time for you to sit back and say,
wow, really? You don't say?
Nah.
I have somewhere to be.
Bye.
Right. I don't care that you're a sexual deviant. However, if you open the Pandora's box of someone else being a sexual deviant... Yeah, that's where my line is. You can't heckle somebody else for doing it if you're doing it.
My issue is not only that she claimed she was fucking one of her staff. My other issue with her is that she has now thrown her husband under the bus.
That is fucked up.
Yeah.
Because he's probably in some of those videos watching her get railed by some guy.
Exactly.
Because I know what wife sharing is all about. I mean, no, I don't. He was probably there. And let's be honest, a lot of women would kill for a guy who would sit on the sidelines while she banged someone else on the side. She threw his ass under the bus.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
That somehow is worse than everything else. Because out of everything in the world, all you have is your spouse. Mm-hmm. Now, institution of marriage has been tainted by hardline Huckabees of the world. However, when you marry someone, that would imply that you trust them.
Yeah.
Like, my wife could do a lot of shit, and I would just deal with it. But to throw me under the bus to the national media...
Yeah.
What the fuck? Especially
just
like,
to make yourself, you look better.
And then it fell through immediately. So now your marriage is over and everyone knows you're a liar.
Yeah, basically.
I would have more respect for the little deviant if she'd been like, yes, this is our life and this is what we are. Accept us or accept that we're still a nation of prudes. I would have had more respect for her there than my husband uploaded it without me knowing. Bitch. Like, the sex stuff, maybe it's an us generation thing. I don't care. I don't care.
I think it's going to be worse. It's going to get worse and worse because there's a lot of people nowadays don't care what you do in the bedroom.
No. Why should I care? If you do your job effectively, I don't care if you... I really don't care what kind of shit you're into. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're a furry, I'm going to wince and not talk to you. Yeah, judge me, YouTube.
If you're...
But I'm not going to not vote for you because you're a furry.
Pizzagate.
Or a pedo.
Yeah.
Okay, so the academic Alehouse has established that unless you're fucking kids and like...
Or dogs.
Or dogs.
Or dressing up.
Pretty much any kind of livestock, any kind of animal that cannot give consent.
Yeah.
So if you fuck a kid or an animal, we're not with you. But pretty much anything else you do, who gives a shit if you do your job well? Now, if you're shitty at your job and you're fucking a horse, that's 2 for 2.
Yeah.
However, if you and your husband go into a club and you, as a man, let your wife get gangbanged by 15 guys, and that's what you're into.
Or you, as your wife, let your husband get gangbanged.
Does that ever happen, though?
Sometimes.
I doubt it. Anyway, but the point is, I don't care what you do in your spare time. Do you do your job?
Agreed.
The sex thing, we are a sexual country, but it's repressed, which is leading to some Catholic school-esque weird shit happening. I don't give a shit what my politicians do in the bedroom or who they do in the bedroom unless they find one of our politicians with their dick in a politician from another country that has some sort of political influence. It affects the job. I don't care. If my local senator is banging 37 women behind his wife's back, that's really more of a problem for him and his wife. But he voted consistently along the views I believed in. I mean, sucks to be his wife, but he's doing what I voted him to do.
Let's be real about this. Sucks to be him because his wife's gonna find out.
And she's gonna take No, she's gonna take everything.
Okay, yeah.
But the point is, I don't care what they do in their personal lives, and the fact that we expect these politicians to be better than us, they're not. They're not, and which is why when they try to act like they're better than us, I laugh. They're not better than us. They're us with money and power.
Exactly.
They are more true to us than we ever... We have the government we deserve.
It should frighten us all.
It should, but we have the government that represents us. We do. And I don't care that Representative Katie Hill liked to be a whore. I don't. She liked to be shared outside of wedlock with other people. That's great. That's her and her husband's business, and if they're cool with it, great. However, Then she stepped out and went after Kavanaugh, and let's be real. Come on.
Yeah.
Stop that.
Yeah.
And that's where the policy line comes. I judge Katie Hill not for her sexual fantasies, but for the fact that she tried to shame other people for shit that they allegedly did while she was doing all of this stuff. That's what I think she should be under the microscope for. I don't care if she's a sexual deviant. I don't care if she has sex with everyone from here to fucking New York. That is her business.
So, what state do you think she represents?
Oh, God. It's got to be one of the godless ones. She's got to be a Democrat, so...
She is a Democrat.
That eliminates half the country. It's not going to be California. Massachusetts?
No. You had it right the first time.
California?
Yes.
No shit.
Yes.
No wonder your state's on fire.
Anyway.
But
moving on away from...
If you're asking me, she's not that bad. Would I do that with her husband watching? No, but like 9 beers in and with nothing to do on a Saturday night?
Moving forward from the... Moving from Washington, D.C. across the country to Silicon Valley.
Oh, God. And it's not Silicon for the right reasons either. I've looked.
PayPal deplatformed a conservative artist today.
For what?
We don't know.
So you're conservative, therefore we're not going to process any of your transactions?
Basically,
Boy,
yes.
would that fuck us up.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much because I get a lot of money from our loving 4 people viewers. I buy a lot of shit on eBay.
Like, yeah. PayPal has no right to do this.
Yes, they do. It's a private company.
No, they don't.
Private company.
No.
They can discriminate along political lines. It's not a protected class. They absolutely legally can do that. Should they do that? Absolutely not. But legally, they absolutely can.
No, they can't.
Why not?
Because they are not a platform.
No, but they're a business and they can choose who they do business with.
It's
How is
not-
the PayPal
it's
any
that
different than a
because-
restaurant that says we
it's-
can refuse service to anybody?
No. It's theft. Because the product and service they're providing does not involve...
Now, if they take his money, it's theft. But if they say...
that's what they've done.
They say you can no longer use our service, that's one thing.
They have taken whatever money is coming in, they are holding it because they politically disagree with it.
Now, that is theft. Now, refusing to do business with somebody is one thing.
Yeah, it would be...
If they said, here's your money, fuck off, don't use our profile.
Exactly.
Profile.
Service anymore?
Service. Right, one thing. However, if they're taking his money, that's extortion.
Exactly.
That is a court case. Now, do I support their right not to do business with people they don't agree with? Absolutely. That's their prerogative. However, taking their shit is not. That'd be like my bank saying, hey, we heard about this shitty podcast you do. You no longer have access to your money.
Yeah, exactly. Personally, though,
what?
I disagree with the whole right to refuse service because...
They can do that. It's their business.
Because PayPal is the only game in town.
No, it's not. I can Zelle you money right now. Zelle, Venmo, there is PayPal, fucking direct bank transfer. They're not the only game in town. Zelle being
they're
fucking
the biggest
top.
game in town.
Maybe, but they're not the only game in town. So go to Zelle. Go to Venmo, which has much better marketing. You don't need PayPal. I think it's a stupid move by PayPal, but they're not the only game in town. And honestly, hear me out here. This is going to be crazy. Write a check.
But there's a lot of bigger issues here that
we're
tapping into. The fact that Google has a monopoly.
Absolutely.
Google and YouTube and
Facebook are all under congressional investigation. I feel like I see fucking Zuckerberg up there sweating his ass off once every couple years.
But they'll never do anything about it.
You don't know that.
We need someone like Teddy Roosevelt.
Don't we?
Roosevelt and Taft again.
I think we need Roosevelt because Roosevelt was a man. Just don't get me started.
Rise them from the grave. Have them break up the tech monopolies.
But here's the thing. Have you not noticed tech monopolies have really dialed back their leftism the last year?
Yeah, they have.
Because they're coming for them. So I say we sit here and let this thing play out. Would a Teddy Roosevelt be great? Yes. However, nobody, myself, this weird motherfucker, Donald Trump, who honestly comes closest, nobody has the sheer testosterone to be Teddy Roosevelt. You're touching on a sensitive topic with me because Teddy Roosevelt was what every man should aspire to be. He was. He got shot and finished his speech. Teddy Roosevelt didn't give a fuck. Teddy Roosevelt drained the swamp. Teddy Roosevelt was everything Donald Trump has wet dreams about
Brought
being.
us into the 20th century debt-free.
He did. Teddy Roosevelt was the best president we've ever had. Fucking fight me. I dare you. Nobody can be Teddy Roosevelt by just being.
Eisenhower.
Not Teddy Roosevelt. Why? Eisenhower cared about the lives of his men. Teddy Roosevelt didn't give a fuck. Teddy Roosevelt wanted us to get into World War I much earlier. I disagree with him, but that's because I support the monarchy of Germany. I do. Teddy Roosevelt...
Are any of them still alive?
The monarchy? Absolutely. I've met one. But the point is, Teddy Roosevelt was the manliest man who ever breathed air. Good luck.
Ron Swanson.
No. Character. Fictional. Still not Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt lived. Teddy Roosevelt lived. When they died, you know what they said when Teddy Roosevelt died? He died in his sleep. And they said it, the newspaper said, it makes sense that death took Roosevelt in his sleep because if he had been awake, there would have been a fight. There's comics about that shit. Look it up. Teddy Roosevelt was the best president we will ever have as a country. You can fight me on that all you want, but he would punch you in the face. He would have punched half of the media in the face for the shit they've done to Donald Trump. If you'd have done that shit with Roosevelt, he'd have challenged you to a duel. Roosevelt had so much hair on his chest that it was qualified as a national forest. The point being, nobody will be Roosevelt because he was a god of a man. And if anyone wants to fight me on this, you know where to find me. Sorry, Donald Trump might be like the Walmart version. But he doesn't fuck with business. He doesn't break up monopolies. That's not his thing. His thing is building up the economy. Roosevelt would have fucked the monopoly's wife and made them watch.
But since we're on the topic of Silicon Valley and
Jeff Bezos, oh, that's a nice wife you got. Oh, you know what she needs? A little Roosevelt in her.
And personally, I think within the next half decade, we need to form an Internet Bill of Rights.
Internet Bill of Rights. Man, what a thing that would be.
It needs to be a thing, personally.
Maybe. And I agree with you, but just circling back to the fact that if Roosevelt existed now, Jeff Bezos would have walked in on him fucking his wife and made him sign a bill before he finished the deed. That's why Roosevelt was our best president. Not that Franklin cuck, but Teddy. Teddy, send in the battleships, charge up San Juan Hill, Roosevelt. The only true Roosevelt. And that's who I compare all of our presidents to, so as far as I'm concerned, since Roosevelt, they've all sucked. I do.
By the way, fuck FDR, you pseudo-socialist fuck.
He's not a real You know what? That's not real socialism. That's not a real Roosevelt.
Well,
cousin, fucking five-term
since we're in the realm of Silicon Valley,
not Silicon for the right reasons.
YouTube in April.
Okay.
In April of this year.
Okay.
Had a video that was published on their site.
Okay, that
basically
YouTube.
Broke down how they were going to pump up how they were going to do videos.
Sounds exciting.
Because the old way was they just did it based off how many likes and how many shares and
how the fuck else is there to do it?
Views you got.
Okay.
But now they're not just doing it by popularity.
Oh God. They're
doing it by a preferred advertiser score.
Preferred advertiser. So does that mean like Donald Trump can pick like I don't know, give me a YouTuber here.
PewDiePie.
Sure. Could say he prefers that advertiser and they get more Donald Trump ads? Like something like that?
Yes.
Okay.
No, that's not how it works.
Damn it.
So basically,
about
a few weeks, like a week and a half ago,
okay,
some gaming YouTubers realized that they weren't getting the flow of new subscribers or new viewers that they were used to.
Something the academic Alehouse can relate to.
Which is something that a lot of people on YouTube have been noticing.
Mm-hmm.
So they went into the source code, and turns out that every single YouTube channel has a preferred credit score, has a social credit score.
Explain that for those of us in the back who live in the real world.
So what the score is based on like how many. I'm not sure like what in depth it's what parameters it's based on, but it basically determines. The score says, okay, this person is super family friendly, super good for advertising.
So it's like a Nielsen score.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, I guess that was bound to happen eventually.
But the issue is, we, the content creators, have no idea. We were not privy to this. So we have no idea what these parameters are to get advertising.
I'm going to guess we're at a 0. Video. You want to know why? I have one example. Fuck, fuckity fuck. And we just dropped a point.
Which is why people which is why the random life blogger YouTuber who doesn't make any interesting content can shoot to the top of the trending page on YouTube because she hits all the boxes. She checks all the boxes.
Let me guess.
For getting
reasonably thick, blonde, and boring.
Exactly.
So what you're telling me is it's basically like what Hollywood does with we have some suggestions just with YouTube.
Exactly. Only we don't get the suggestions.
No,
they just do it.
I mean, okay.
And now...
So they sold out. Everybody sells out, but it's YouTube, a subsidy of Google Inc., which is going to become our evil fucking overlords. So, oh no, they want people to be boring.
The military's experimenting with AI. I'm just saying.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh god, the AI is going to start smoking and marrying strippers. Oh no.
I'm picturing Skynet.
No, you're giving the military too much credit. The AI is going to fuck a stripper, get chlamydia, and get discharged within like 6 weeks.
How to get military benefits?
You don't get benefits unless you're in for 6 months. But the point is,
wait 6 months and get
it depends on
benefits.
whose program. If the AI is a learning AI and it is put into the general military population, that thing will never be found. Why? 2 reasons. Hey, I need a job done. If it's been hanging out with anyone E4 or below, it will know how to hide. In a scary way. If it's been hanging out with anyone E5 and above, it won't know how to get the job done. So, now, when you say the military is developing an AI...
The Pentagon.
Right, so that means it's going to kill us all. If it was just like the army, it would chain smoke 6 cigarettes, marry a stripper, and probably buy a Mustang at 15% interest. The military is developing an AI for medical purposes?
Nope.
Combat?
Yes.
We're all going to die.
Google,
Not so much because it's going to kill us, but because...
Amazon, Facebook, and Twitter have been called in because they have algorithms and AI that...
On everything.
On everything.
Yes. And they're all being called in to make this thing. But we're going to die.
Being called in to consult on this thing.
We're going to die.
All of them are saying, no, don't do it.
We're going to die.
Oh, don't do it.
We're going to die. You ever seen iRobot, Will Smith?
I don't need to see iRobot. I've seen Terminator.
Yes, but have you seen iRobot with Will Smith?
No.
Fantastic film. Also, what the fuck? What? So let me get this straight. We marry some strippers. We get some DWIs. We might kill someone in the Philippines, and now you're trying to replace the enlisted?
No. Let's get down to brass tacks here. We have a ongoing film franchise which screams and shouts from the heavens why this is a bad idea. It's like a few years ago. I'm sure you've seen the meme. Like the dinosaurs can be real article.
You mean Jurassic Park?
Yes.
Okay.
There was an article at some point. I don't remember when. It's a meme now. That says
everything's a meme. This whole fucking timeline's a meme.
The title of the article, and literally the first comment is like, "We have literally 3 movies explaining why this is a bad idea."
Don't get me wrong.
We now have 5 movies explaining why AI are a bad idea.
Maybe, but from my experience, the army can't do anything right. So they could make an AI that's supposed to be in combat, but it's just gonna fuck a stripper and get drunk. I mean, if it makes you feel better, if the army is programming it and it's meant to learn, and they put it among the general troops, that thing is gonna develop a drug habit and have a stripper wife in like a week. However, if it's just being programmed in the Pentagon, we might all be dead already. Because no one in the Pentagon has a sense of humor. Not that I would know that personally, but I've heard. Nobody who makes it there has a fucking sense of humor.
That's because they're all bureaucrats at that point.
They are, which is... Bureaucrats developing an AI scares me a lot more than the military developing an AI. Because I've seen the inner workings of the military, and the inner workings of the Pentagon, however, frighten me. So, it depends. If this shit's being developed in the field by, like, 6 Marine grunts and, like, I don't know, a Coast Guard medic or something, if you're a stripper, look out, you've got a whole bunch of varieties of husbands. However, the Pentagon, some shady shit goes on in the Pentagon, man.
Yep.
Like, so we might be dead there.
So now...
Okay.
We're gonna move away from that.
Our imminent doom. Okay.
Yeah. Terminator, iRobot,
There's been so many.
There's so many.
What's the one with Hal? Yeah.
2001: A Space Odyssey.
There you go. School day.
Yeah, so many reasons why building intelligent robots are...
Like when all the tech mobilists go, stop, and the army goes, I don't think I will. We're gonna die. And honestly, I would rather be killed by a Democrat in his underwear with a bayonet than a fucking robot.
Fair enough. But did you know that white people, they responsible for hurricanes?
They never invite me to the meetings!
According to Democratic House member AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
I call her Great Tits.
Who, I think, manages to make only cameo appearances on this show, despite the fact that we could cover her every word and make pretty decent damn content.
Great tits. That's where I'm at on her. Her policies I all disagree with, but have you seen the pear on that woman?
I mean...
Better than Representative Hill. Yeah, enough. I said it. What are you going to do? Resign on me?
Fair enough, but
that's
tits to me. They're mounted.
To you, nothing. You can see past them. To me, they're a gateway to possibly converting to socialism.
Hello, Cats of Sherman.
Who the fuck is that?
The only person to post in the chat.
I'm offended that John isn't here, our regular follower, but hello, Cats. Anyway, AOC, great set. That's all I know about her, other than everything she says is crazy, but she's got a great rack. Now, to me, from my extensive experience in college, that means she's a great lay, but if you stay with her, she'll stab you.
Oh, look, John's here.
Yes! My man! I'm happy to see John. Anyway, great tits, crazy. Great recipe for getting stabbed and stalked, but also potentially good for a good Saturday night. Point is, that's really all I know about AOC. Everything she says is crazy, but she has
the fact that you posted that says more about you than it does about AOC.
I don't have access to whatever he's seeing, so
not as good as Pelosi though.
Does Pelosi have great tits? This is science. We need to know. We need to know.
You got your phone right in front of you.
No, I don't. I have a glass of beer in front of me. A big one, mind you. However, gravity doesn't count. AOC has nice tits in her 20s. Nancy has tits that might make it to Wisconsin if she let them roam free. It'd be like that Fievel song. She takes her bra off. Rollin', rollin', rollin'. I'm funnier to me than I am to you people.
She wears too many pantsuits. You can't tell.
The same thing with Hillary. I heard Hillary's got D cups. I wasn't ready for that one. Sorry. Even I surprised myself when it comes out of my mouth.
This is probably the best one. Here.
Let me see.
Those are fake.
Well, no shit. I wonder which husband paid for them, but, whew. I'm a man who appreciates a good pair. However, how do you get past the Crypt Keeper look?
You don't.
I can't. I can't.
Look, you do it from behind. Take a picture with cover her.
What makes you think it's going to be better from behind? And quite personally, I wouldn't be surprised if she had a Thug Life tattoo back there or something that's like aged 30 years and migrated south for the winter. My point is, those are nice, but AOC wins the Democratic titty war.
Fair enough. But according to AOC...
whose intellectual... yes, it's her intellect I respect, and not them titties.
Representative of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez put a racial spin Wednesday on climate change and hurricanes attributing emissions from predominantly white corporations and communities for juicing recent storms and costs predominantly black and brown lives in Louisiana and Puerto Rico.
They do know Houston was hit by a hurricane, right?
Yeah.
Because I was there. Where I was is a matter of legal debate, but white people get hit by hurricanes too. Who do they think lives in Florida?
We've discussed Pelosi at length, John. You're going to have to go back in time.
Man, now back in time, if we're talking about Pelosi back in time, her in about 1930? Oh, yeah. I assume she's like 90. Anyway, hurricanes hit white people too. And I know this because as a white person, I was holding onto a beam of a battleship screaming for dear life during Harvey. I don't think Harvey stopped to ask to see my racial ID card. Nor did many of the other things that followed.
They also originate from Africa.
They do. Hurricanes tend to start around the Africa region, which, you know, in and of itself could be considered a form of social justice. If you really want to be crazy. That's them sending us a gift for slavery, and therefore hurricanes are our restitution for slavery. Sure, why not? It makes about as much sense as anything else going on these days. But if there is a secret white person where the hurricane's going to hit next meeting, I'm very offended that I wasn't invited, because if I got any whiter, I could make Barry Manilow look like he's a member of the Soul Society. So, what the hell? If there's a white person hurricane strike meeting that I'm unaware of, I want you all to know I'm offended that I didn't get invited, because I definitely have some places in mind that could use a good hurricane. Most of them in Texas, and most of them east. Fuck you, Huntsville. What? Don't look at me that way. I guess.
Are you done? Because we're moving on. Because we're going to talk about...
I'm just saying, if I was responsible for hurricanes, there would be a lot less New Yorkers in the world.
We're going to talk about the reason Trump will win... One of the reasons Trump will win 2020.
Oh, God. That's like asking one of the reasons that NASCAR is all about rednecks.
So, a political theorist, and I can't remember who...
Doesn't matter.
Says basically broke it down and says there's 27 keys to the White House.
27.
You have to possess a certain number of them in order to get there.
That's a video gamey enough for me to understand.
Trump already has several. The economy's good.
Yes.
We're not at war with anyone. He's kept his promises to us.
Hold on. Roll that back a minute.
We're not directly at war with anyone.
We haven't been directly at war with anyone since 45.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
We aren't in any major military conflict.
Bullshit. We've been in one since 01.
The border doesn't count, and Afghanistan doesn't count.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
There are people there. They're of a different color. They speak a different language, and they want to kill you. What constitutes a war more than those things?
An actual physical declaration by the House of Congress.
No. Bullshit. Fuck that. They shoot at you. En masse, it's a war.
What many people do not consider to be military conflict. Does that make it better?
Humvees, uniforms, Kevlar, violence.
What the general populace would consider to be a non-major military conflict.
Soldiers, jet planes, helicopters. We are at war. Fuck you. We are at war. Now, did Trump start any new ones? No, but we are at war. Fuck you. No, I refuse. There are too many people coming back with PTSD and Iraqi wives to constitute this being not a war.
I'm speaking among the general populace.
They're idiots, but they know we are at war. They don't call it the peace-hugging happy times in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
/ Iraq.
Yeah, but...
We literally just nerfed some guy with a very long name with a lot of fucking hyphens. That's not an act of peace, my friend.
Are you going to let me finish?
No. When it
then
comes
why don't I just end the stream right now?
I don't know. But my point is, we are at war. We've been at war since 2001. Bullshit. And until all of our friends, relatives, and servicemen are back on U.S. soil and not being threatened by people who can't yell their name in an airport without security getting worried, we are at war. People trying to kill you en masse for wearing a uniform counts as a war. Declared or otherwise, when there's an organized force trying to kill you, you are at war.
Are you done?
I'm right. Audience, feel free to weigh in.
That does not mean that Trump does not have that key.
I think he doesn't, but we'll gloss for the sake of the audience.
That's your opinion.
Yes. What opinion do I have other than the fact that I have a bachelor's degree in military conflict?
Moving on. But the economy's good.
Yes.
We're skipping the second key, and he's kept most of his campaign promises, and he's gotten through most of his first term without a scandal.
That really depends on who you ask. People who are never going to vote for him anyway in Middle America.
Exactly.
Scandals.
But
Has
there's
he had any scandals?
Key.
Hold on, I need to think about this.
He has gathered a fifth key recently.
Okay.
He has scored a major patriotic victory.
Yes.
The
Circling back to the hyphen man.
The death of...
Say his full name. Come on, fucker. Say his full name.
I don't know his first name, but I know his last name.
Do you know his full last name?
Nice. I just went through airport security and the woman processing me was wearing a hijab. Something seems strange about that.
Oh, man.
Good on you, Cats of Sherman.
I wouldn't even know how I'd react to that. You need to submit for frisking. You need to submit for frisking. And that's why I got...
ISIS is attempting to infiltrate TSA.
I mean, that would not be the best fuck... You want to know... Here's an interesting statistic. People accused of theft from TSA. In the thousands. Terrorists caught by the TSA. Zero.
They even fail, like, the basic bomb test they throw at them.
Can I please, federal government, because I know you're listening.
Oh, God, yes.
Let me be a bomb test guy. You will never have a more enthusiastic employee. I will have the time of my life.
You will.
Let me be that guy. I already get stopped at every security checkpoint for some reasons that are not due to my smart-ass comments.
Really? I figured the smartass comments would just be why they...
I've been dead-ass frisked while I was in uniform. Like, it's happened. Well, when
because your name is super generic, isn't it?
No, it's because when they're patting you down, say, hey, I bet you wished you'd join a real fucking defensive agency instead of this bullshit, huh? I can't help myself. TSA, you don't make me feel safe. If I wanted to be patted down by a 300-pound African-American woman... I could literally go anywhere in the South.
Comprised of veterans and retired policemen.
Bullshit! It's composed of 400-pound black women.
Yeah.
And apparently one lady in hijab somewhere wherever Katz is. Don't get me wrong. Whoever hired her, props to you. I fucking love it. That's the exact kind of shit I would pull. I would make them all with names you couldn't pronounce.
So al-Baghdadi,
oh, God,
under Trump's order, was killed by the goodest boy.
I mean, yeah, that's cool, but I was here when we killed Osama. Like, you know. And that one's for Obama.
So was I.
Right. I was more excited about that. Al-Baghdadi never really did anything to us. Like, as a country.
Fair enough.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not, like, sad he's dead. But, you know. Woo. The dude, let's be honest, has had a lot of respawns. Hmm? Oh, yeah. He's been claimed to have been killed, like, 5 times. The Russians claimed they got him. We claimed we got him. Like, everyone's claimed they've got him.
Well, I'm pretty sure we got him this time.
Yeah, they fucking put his hand out for the fucking media to see. I'm sure we got him this time, but, you know.
Well, the hand was all that was left.
Which...
Once the goodest boy attacked.
To our military members, badass.
Yeah.
That is the only way to deal with our problems. However...
Force them to trigger their own suicide vests.
I mean, fuck it. And he took 3 of his kids with him, like somehow that would stop us. No, I'm all for it. But, you know, after the 17th time he's died, the euphoria kind of wears off.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, the bastard's dead, and they've announced his successor, and I actually have a calendar for how many days that's going to last. Like, fucking make it 3. Like, make me happy. No, I'm glad he's dead. It's great, and he got taken out by a dog who's going to be given a medal.
Yeah. The goodest boy.
Sure.
Even though it's a girl, it is the goodest boy. I have named it so.
And so is the internet. The veterans forums have been lit up with just pictures of this dog. As it should be, as the members of the SEAL team get dicked. Because they have to be secretive. The dog will get a medal. Green weenie. Or if they were SEALs, the blue weenie.
Personally, I'm cool with the SEALs not getting publicity, because that seems like...
One of them will publish a book.
Yeah.
I mean, at
Eventually.
least that's what they did when they got, and Bin Laden.
Mm-hmm.
One of you will publish a book, and, I might buy it when it's on sale. The point is, we'll figure out which team did it. But I heard it was the Army that got him this time.
Survivor on here?
No.
Mm.
My specialization is a little more aquatic.
Mm.
However, there'll be a book.
I met the guy who wrote that.
Really?
Yeah.
He's dead now, isn't he?
Mm.
Oh, no, that's the guy that it was about.
Yeah.
He got cacked at a gun range up north.
Mm.
Chris Kyle, the guy, the Lone Survivor. No, wait, no, what's that? I mean, that's American Sniper.
Oh, I met that guy.
You met Chris Kyle?
Yeah.
He got shot at a gun range.
Mm.
You didn't know that?
Mm.
Yeah, he's dead. Some, Haji fucking walked up behind him and shot him while he was at a gun range. He's dead. 10 years ago.
No.
While ago.
Different guy.
So, Lone Survivor and American Sniper, two very different things.
Oh, I don't have a picture on this phone.
It's fine. Either way.
I have a picture on this phone.
Either way, there will be a book, and we'll figure out who all was involved. But I think the Army actually got this one.
I don't have the picture on this
I think the Army got Baghdadi. The Navy got Bin Laden. But honestly, if you're asking me, I think Bin Laden was worth a few more points than Baghdadi. Who gives a shit? I'm glad Baghdadi's dead, but it wasn't like the win that Osama Bin Laden was.
Yeah, but Trump still is going to use it.
No, get me wrong. It's great for him politically, but if we're comparing people we've hunted, Osama Bin Laden, al-Baghdadi, Bin Laden, I got to give the point to Obama for this one. And I hate giving that bastard any points, but
fair enough.
He got Bin Laden.
Credit is credit. Credit where credit.
Or at least he allegedly got Bin Laden, or if you believe some of the things on Reddit, he's sitting on a fucking reservation with Elvis. I mean, there are always going to be people who deny that we got Bin Laden, but I've noticed Bin Laden sightings have been pretty scarce lately. And if I were Bin Laden, personally, I would have made a video by now.
Yeah.
But then again, that's,
So let's talk about the media's reaction to this.
To Baghdadi.
Because the media reaction has been to...
Oh, boy.
Please. Trump... Oh dear, our narrative of Orange Man bad is seriously in jeopardy because this is a major
So please tell me that they fucking defected and decided to back Orange Man instead of trying to somehow make him the bad man for this, right? Please tell me they're not that stupid.
Many of the major news outlets are softening.
To Trump or to Baghdadi?
To Baghdadi.
Oh, god damn it.
But I think the best one, though, the hottest of takes, came from our dear friends at the Washington Post.
No, the people who broke Watergate.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. I just need a minute. What did they post about the Baghdadi raid?
So the first thing was terrorist leader. So there were two headlines.
Okay.
For the Washington Post.
Okay.
So the first one was terrorist leader killed. Terrorist leader al-Baghdadi killed.
Okay. He was a terrorist. He was a leader. He's dead.
Yes.
Okay.
They later retracted that and
Why?
published a new title.
Oh, God.
Austere religious scholar al-Baghdadi dies at X point at age blah blah blah.
What?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Run that by me one more time. I need to make sure that wasn't the beer talking. What?
Austere religious scholar.
Religious scholar.
Yes.
Religious scholar.
I mean, technically correct, but still.
In the way that Hitler was a religious enthusiast.
Yes.
In the way that Hitler was a religious rights activist.
So
what?
This, of course, caused caused Twitter and 4chan and naturally the internet swarmed upon it, laughing like the maniacs we are.
Religious scholar?
No. You're missing the best part. Austere religious scholar.
Now, for those of the back, define austere.
I actually don't know the definition. I can only assume it means somewhat like
religious,
eccentric or weird.
Religious scholar.
Yes.
Like in the way Dahmer was an eccentric knife enthusiast.
Hold on, we're getting there. Because of course.
Oh, goddamn. You're making this up, right? You're just fucking with me.
No, I'm not.
Oh my
We among the internet cannot leave shit well enough alone.
Nor should
Discovered this and immediately set about creating a Twitter hashtag.
Oh god.
It is called WAPO Death Notices. It is the best thing on Twitter right now.
Oh god.
Just read through it. It's fucking hilarious. And in fact, I will give you some of the pleasure.
Oh god. This is a thing. What timeline is this?
Wapo Death Notice.
Okay.
Gaius Julius Caesar, 56, noted author and Egyptologist, dies surrounded by his friends.
Oh, good God. That's a good one. That's a good one. Surrounded. Yeah, I mean, at 2 per TA. Okay, what else we got?
Transgender pioneer, hotelier, and devoted son, Norman Bates, dies after devoting his golden years to solitary contemplation.
Wow. Wow, we're just going there, huh, Internet? All right. Hit me with the next one.
Thanos, noted rare gem collector and humanitarian, murdered during home invasion.
During home invasion? Oh, shit.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, God.
According to John, severe in behavior or manner.
What would we do without John? Like, this dude's holding us up. He's carrying the team right now. Okay, so we've got Thanos. What else you got for me? Oh, God. A steer religious scholar, fucking Thanos. It's all the same. I can see it.
Joseph Miguel, pioneering geneticist and...
You mean Mendel?
Propagandinian.
Mendel?
Mengele.
Oh, God. The Angel of Death?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hit me.
Pioneering Paraguayan and hobby farmer, dead at 67.
Oh, good God. For those of our viewers who don't know, I'm pretty sure that's the guy who did a lot of Nazi genetic experiments. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm fairly sure that's the same guy.
Pablo Escobar, pharmaceutical sales rep, local politician, and loving father.
Oh my
husband,
God, I can't. I just, what? Damn it. Oh my God.
Adolf Hitler, dedicated art enthusiast, animal rights activist, and talented orator, dies at 56.
Hey, they didn't even mention that he was a very decorated war veteran.
John Wilkes Booth, noted thespian, American actor, and member of a prominent theatrical family, dead at 26. This one I think is the best. Coyote, entrepreneur, gravitational addict, avid birder, and dies episodically. But yeah, that's the hashtag WAPO Death Notice is that it's the best thing. Ooh, here's a new one. Ted Bundy, innovative and unconventional pickup artist. Up-and-coming member of Washington State Republican Party, passionate law student, and sorority enthusiast, dies at 42. Seriously, I do recommend you go look at this hashtag because it's just so much fun. Hell, even Ben Shapiro got in on the game.
No shit.
He used Adolf Hitler too. He's a weak. Oh no, he didn't use Adolf Hitler. He used Voldemort.
I mean, difference, really?
Mm.
I mean, I guess Voldemort was really more of a local thing.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, Washington Post, you went from Watergate to austere religious scholar.
Yes. But worse. The week doesn't end there.
How the fuck does the week not end there?
You remember the Covington Catholic children, yes?
For those of us in the back. Was that the one with the, like, cocky-looking white kid with the Indian guy?
Yes.
Like, fucking 2 years ago?
Yeah.
What about it? Didn't that turn out to be, like, not what the media said it was?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, I mean, of course it did. But basically...
True, but yeah.
The whole story breaks down, like, they were there for a pro-life demonstration.
Mm-hmm. Catholics being pro-life. Next, you'll tell me the Nazis weren't fans of Jews.
The black Israelis were cursing at them.
Hold on.
And
the black Israelis were cursing at the Catholics for being pro-life.
I don't know.
I need you to roll this back because where does Judaism stand on abortion?
I'm not studied enough on Judaism to...
Neither am I. I was kind of hoping you were, but something tells me, from what I do know about Judaism, that the black Israelis being against the pro-life protesters would be something similar to Black Lives Matter being against the NAACP. I feel like they're two things that probably should be standing for the same thing. I would need some input, but something doesn't sound right about that. Because as far as I know, Judaism is a very conservative religion.
Regardless.
I feel like that's relevant, but moving on.
Fair enough. But, so, this happens. The media gets a video of a...
Right, the picture of the kid standing there looking all...
man beating a drum and...
Looking in front of this douchey white kid, right?
Chanting in the face of a relatively douchey-looking white kid.
Because the picture I remember, the dude looked really douchey. Like they definitely did not get his good side on that one.
Yeah, fair enough. But basically, another angle showed the Indian man approaching him. The media jumped on it, said, "Oh, these guys surrounded this guy, and he was just defending himself by chanting, blah blah blah."
I mean, here's my take, and we're probably gonna get kicked up there for this one. But theoretically, just because a bunch of white people surround you,
okay, Cats of Sherman.
Yeah.
They are not Jewish. They are a militant black nationalist group called Black Hebrew Israelites. Really nasty bunch of people.
That makes it more confusing to me.
Yeah.
Israel, Judaism, conservative Old Testament. I don't know. But to be fair, there's a lot about this new world I don't understand.
But they were the black Israelites were hurling really shit. Like, they were talking shit to these kids. Well,
to be fair, though, wasn't there something in the Bible about the black Israelites?
I don't know.
I don't know. I've got a few copies. I'll have to thumb through it later.
I don't know.
But anyway, so just because you're Native American and surrounded by white people doesn't mean you're a victim. I would like to poke Wounded Knee, Custer's Last Stand. I don't buy this victim thing. You fuckers can fuck us up when you want to.
So, now...
Right.
So, the kids were...
defamed on national news?
Yes.
Okay.
So they filed suit against the Washington Post.
As is the American way.
Who were the first people to publish a story about it.
Man, they're having a rough week over there, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So the case was basically dismissed by the first judge.
What judge?
I don't know.
Ninth Circuit?
Probably not.
Really?
Depending on where they live, depending on where Covington
I assume near D.C. Wasn't this in D.C. or something?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see us fucking road tripping up there from Texas, so no. I assume they're in
somewhere in that range.
Right.
So a judge
okay.
looked at the case, said, "You don't have a case," and dismissed it. Looked at the case again this week.
Same judge?
Same judge.
Huh.
I thought it was a higher court judge, but it was the same judge. Looked at it and said, "You got a case. We're doing this." So now the Washington Post's internals surrounding this story
which I assume all have blue hair and glasses,
are being scrutinized as to why they didn't post a retraction once the evidence came out that they were wrong, blah blah blah.
Well, here's to our newest millionaires.
Yeah.
I personally think the Washington Post should be sued into oblivion, like Gawker was. You remember Gawker?
Yes.
That should be what happens to them. Because when Trump won the election, they posted as their headline. You can go on their website right now. Democracy dies in the darkness, and that's been their thing since 2016. So
but the issue is they're suing for defamation.
Which it was.
The problem with defamation, in the legal sense, I completely agree. These people have been defamed. They've been attacked.
In print, which is more libel, I think.
They've been defamed.
Sure.
They've been.
So what legal loophole is the Post going for? I'm waiting for it.
Basically, the way defamation works in a legal sense is you have to prove loss. You have to prove some sort of physical loss.
Okay, apply for a job at McDonald's. When they decline you because you're the fucking kid from the picture, you have loss. This kid has to have suffered. Even I know his face, and I don't keep up with the news.
Yeah, but that's the thing about defamation. It has to be some sort of provable loss.
It really does. What defines provable loss?
Exactly.
If he has applied for a job in the last year and been denied, that could be provable loss. So any decent lawyer could.
It all depends on how they go about saying these children are lost. But personally, I think we need to change the definition to future to add. We need to add on future losses as well.
Yeah, because we're in the internet age. That kid is never going to get away from that picture. Like
exactly.
And I live in fear of that. And I feel like I speak for a lot of people when I say, you got to be fucking careful.
Oh, yeah.
Like, shit. You mess up one time in your life, it's on the internet forever. Mm-hmm. Like, no, that kid is screwed. Because even I can mentally picture his face. So, absolutely, the kid's going to suffer some losses.
Yeah, you're right, Cats. But the issue is that doesn't affect their financial or physical property standings.
What doesn't?
Within the legal sense.
They've gotten
a lot of death threats. I absolutely agree.
Shit.
If
they had to hire a security guard, it did.
Mental angle, like, stuff like that. Like
hell, if you had to go off of your route for a block, if you had to defer your route to school for a block, that's financial loss. You spent more gas than you normally would. This is really easily provable. I feel like any competent lawyer could really make this happen.
I agree, but I think we need to have the addendum of future loss.
Well, yes, because again, in the internet age, nothing truly goes away.
Nothing goes away. Nothing goes
Especially
away.
Some shit like that.
To attach for that.
And that's. I think we could probably do a podcast over that in and of itself. Mm-hmm. But no, this kid's gonna suffer some losses, especially if he's living on the East Coast. Name me a conservative state on the East Coast, like what? South Carolina.
South Carolina would be the closest option.
Maybe Maryland.
South Carolina.
Maryland?
South Carolina.
Or wait, New Hampshire. Bernie's state's pretty conservative. But the point is, in that area, because there are parts of this country where going to another state's not a big deal. Not here.
It takes 24 hours to cross our state.
It fucking does. And I know because I tried to do it at 55 today. Mm-hmm. At 55 miles an hour is not shit in this state. And people get angry at you, even though you're just trying to spread peace and love and fascism. I mean peace and love. Mm-hmm. But the point being, this kid is going to have some adverse effects from that picture. He's screwed. And what happened to him is something I legitimately am afraid of.
Yeah.
God forbid that someone takes some shit like what I just said, a clear joke, as serious. Mm-hmm. In the industry I work in, which I won't go into, and the kind of processes I'm involved in, which I also won't disclose, name is everything.
Yeah.
And if you lose your name, imagine how many industries you cannot get into because of a bad name.
But worse than that, and I'll take this one step further. We're dudes.
Sure.
At the end of the day, really, our reputation is all we have. Our good name is all we have.
That's all anyone's got. You can have all the money in the world, but if you got a shitty name, you got a shitty name.
Yeah, but you all have all the money in the world. What the fuck do you care about your name?
Well, the thing is you got all the money in the world, but if no one will sell you a car, what good is it?
Fair enough.
A good name is the most valuable thing I think any person can have. Then again, maybe the philosophy differs up north, but you're all godless communists and I don't care.
Yeah.
A good name is all a man has.
Yeah.
You've got a good name, you can do whatever you want. Rich man, poor man, somewhere in the middle. You could have all the money in the world, but if you cannot be relied upon, you don't have a good name, you may as well be broke.
Yeah.
So, no, I fully agree that a good name is all a man has. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, it's the only thing you truly have full control over is what kind of man you are and what kind of name you have. So, that's taken away in a situation of this kid.
Like, this kid
doesn't have, depends on where he is in the country, but as far as the mainstream is concerned, he does not have a good name, and they've taken that from him before he's had the chance to fucking go to college. Mm-hmm. Now, don't get me wrong, there's things I did in college that would definitely take away my good name, but
even the left, the people that support the left are have this problem.
Sure.
Remember the Florida shooting guy?
Which Florida shooting?
The student that survived the Florida shooting.
Oh, that motherfucker. Yeah, yes. The one who got a free ride to fucking Harvard?
Yeah, like,
ugh.
But he had to kick up a stink about it. Like, he had applied to, like, several local universities.
And then when he started towing the party line, he got a fucking offer to Harvard.
Like, nobody would take him. But once he brought up, like...
his good name.
Yeah.
Wow, and that's...
Once he brought up, like, oh, these universities don't want... because
all of
you're
a sudden,
a controversial figure.
Right.
Like, I get he was rewarded in the end, but still...
And he was.
Like,
He got into a better school than we got into.
Fair enough, but
For what?
David
For what?
Hogg. David Hogg.
I thought we were purposely not saying his name.
Oh no.
I don't know. But anyway, the point is, he used his good name because he towed the line to get into a fucking school you and I could only dream of getting into. And for the record, I'd like to say that given the chance, I could probably show up any of those Harvard fucks. Why? Because if I couldn't beat them in the classroom, I could beat them physically. Aside from the point, because knowing my luck, Harvard will send me some 350-pound wrestler. Yeah, that's the kind of luck I have.
Dibs.
You can have him. But the point being, good name.
Yeah.
He towed the line in the right way. His name got him in,
but
his
also,
academics, for which he was probably rejected for a community college before he established his reputation.
But his good name, supposedly,
quote unquote, yeah,
got him rejected from college
until he towed the right line.
Towed the right line.
But then his name is all that got him in, because I've seen the transcript. God knows it wasn't his academics. Don't get me wrong. I was a C student at best. Not a good student. I made it through college. I got my degree, but nobody's going to say that man was a legend. It's not going to happen. However, I was better than he was. Why? Because at least I got into college on my own dumbass merit.
We've got one more thing to cover from the Washington Post.
But just saying, they have a case because their good name has been taken.
Like I said, this week hasn't been good for them. Because...
Are we doing the Post again?
They published a story.
Oh, God. Okay.
This week.
Okay.
That said, America needs a hate speech clause.
America needs more hate speech, I think. I think it makes things more
America
interesting.
America needs a hate speech law.
No, it doesn't. It needs more hate speech. Why? Why? I will tell you why. Hate speech, if allowed to be contested, dies.
Exactly.
The Ku Klux Klan, before all this shit kicked up, was dead. Nazism, not even a thing. Except for like a small faction of Werraboos.
Like you'd hear about it maybe once every
right.
5 years.
But the point is, hate speech, when allowed on the open market, when allowed to be contested, when allowed to be spoken and refuted, dies.
Exactly.
Hate dies, especially irrational hate. However, when you make it illegal to do something, especially in like my case, that makes it more fun to do. Mm-hmm. Do I believe in anything Adolf Hitler ever actually did or stood for? No. Is it funny to claim that I do to make someone with blue hair's head explode?
Absolutely.
Yes. It is the most entertaining thing in the world. The Holocaust was a terrible crime against humanity. But man, it is way more fun to joke about it than to talk about it because they just can't deal. No, absolutely. If you make a law making something illegal, that just makes it more fun. My best example that everyone can relate to. Was drinking more fun before you were 21?
Yes.
The secret ingredient was crime!
But worse still is that...
We said while drunk.
Hate speech is...
Not defined.
Not defined.
There you go.
Well, how do you define it?
I define anyone who's saying that I'm fat as hate speech. And I am. I'm fat as fuck. But if you say it, it's hate speech. Snap, snap. For those who can't hear me snapping. Hate speech is not defined.
Hate speech doesn't have a definition. It doesn't
and that goalpost is too easy to move.
Exactly.
No. Hate speech laws are a great way to kill our First Amendment.
What's so funny is that these people think as soon as the hate speech laws are in place...
Hate speech will stop? No, I'm going to do it some more.
Like, people like you and me will stop speaking because we'll get arrested.
I'm going to do it more.
The issue is that what happens...
Bigot glue! What?
Someone called you fat.
I am fat. I'm fat as fuck. Have you seen... They haven't seen. I drink a lot of beer. You show me a skinny motherfucker who drinks as much beer as I do, and I will call them the king. Beer makes you fat, but you know what? I would rather be fat with beer than skinny with fucking vegan food. I will die the way I lived. Drunk. Meat. No, absolutely. Fat as fuck.
So we're not going to go get the Impossible Whopper?
What the fuck is that?
You haven't seen that?
Is it a Whopper that's bigger?
No, it's supposedly a Whopper made without any meat.
The secret ingredient is people. Anyway, no, they can call me fat. I mean, apparently, according to hate speech law, I could call that hate speech.
Yeah, exactly.
But no. One, yes, I'm fat as fuck. Two, it's because of beer. Three, I have no regrets. I will see you at my 300-pound funeral.
John Rice is skinny and he has beer. And he drinks beer.
Not like this, he doesn't.
Apparently not like that. Not like that you don't, John.
For each broadcast, I need you to assume that I've had 9 to 12 beers, and that's just on broadcast night. However, if he can match that and he's skinny, hats off. You are the king. I will call you the Führer.
The beer belly counts, John.
The beer belly does count. It does. Unless you're like a beanpole, you're fat. Sorry. And also, apparently, from what I've heard, unless you're 6 foot tall, women won't look at you.
Oh, yeah.
Which...
Heightism.
I mean, okay. I don't care, and here's why. 1, married. 2, most of the women who demand a 6-figure income and who want you to be 6 feet are hoes who have children out of wedlock.
There's all,
and if I was those two
fact
things,
that you went to college and you had
hoes.
you had girls sniffing around you, and you barely pushed 5.
True, that is true. And the funny part is if I was 6 foot tall, skinny, and had a 6-figure income, half of the women that demand a 6-figure income, no. Why, you ask? Because there is a 110-pound white girl with bleach blonde hair who has the same requirements, who's worth more than your tattooed self. That's going to offend a lot of people, but I'm saying if I had those things, which I don't, no. No, you have to make me believe it.
Off track a bit here.
We have, but my point is that, no.
Apparently, Katz doesn't drink beer, but he weighs 250 pounds.
Well, you and him have that in common.
He's a lot of muscle, though.
But he doesn't drink beer. Is he working class? Like, can you be working class and not drink beer?
I don't know. Audience, poll.
I don't know.
Can you be working class and not drink beer?
You're
There's
poor as
4
fucking.
Of you.
You're poor as fucking. You don't drink beer. So, I mean, I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, most working men drink beer. Whether that be at the factory or at the firm, beer. But that's very much a matter of opinion. My fabulous sparkly friend here doesn't drink beer, and he's very much working class. Although I judge the shit out of him for it. I don't care that he's gay, but I do care that he doesn't drink beer. A man's got to have a line, right? What the fuck were we talking about?
Hate speech.
Hate speech. Anything I don't like is hate speech. The left.
Liquor is not better than beer.
No, at least for me it's not. I can't do the liquor. I've drank liquor. It makes me hit things.
Personally, I like liquor, but,
It's because that's the hardest thing you can handle, other than, men. I'm just saying. But that's the thing. I have many classy as fuck friends who can smoke a cigar and drink a whiskey who do not like beer. However, they get a pass because they smoke cigars and drink whiskey like fucking Winston Churchill. You just kind of drink Fireball. It's whiskey, but it is to whiskey what many things are to the entertainment
I also
industry.
drink Crown.
I mean, that's better. Fireball is the basic white girl of whiskey. It is. Crown, you got something going with Crown. Jack Daniels is the trailer park version of whiskey. There are whiskeys that I think are incredibly classy.
Maker's Mark? I've had
Maker's Mark. I've seen a lot of people who are in the military drink Maker's Mark, actually. And I'm going to get the name wrong, but a lot of, fucking academics, the classiest shit I've ever seen has been a whiskey. It might be a whiskey. It might be a scotch called Glen.
Hey, you have a friend.
A friend? I don't have any friends.
Cats of Sherman. Liquor, yes. Beer in Germany is good.
Beer in Germany. I agree. However, breaking tradition, I have found a Fredericksburg beer that I like. It's made here in Texas. However, the brewery was founded by a guy from Germany, so usually I'm a Paulaner, Weinstefan. German beer is really all I drink.
Anyway, circling back to hate speech.
Hate speech, anything I don't like is hate speech.
Yeah, basically.
That's where we're at.
You don't
I could say your shirt is hate speech if I wanted to. It's an Avengers shirt. It's not.
It's not defined.
No.
And these people think they're going to be the arbiters of what hate speech is.
Well, it's funny because a lot of people who advocate for communism think they're going to be commissars.
Exactly.
You've got a surprise coming. A lot of people who advocate for a lot of things are idiots. I feel like we've covered that extensively throughout the history of this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Hate speech is really general. I could consider someone cutting me off in traffic hate speech, and it should be. But it's just no. We have the First Amendment. You can't regulate speech. I could be a Sieg heiling, Adolf Hitler worshipping, shit-stained
only
mustache
have to-
having Nazi, and that is protected speech under
Literally,
our Constitution.
all you have to do is look at the case of the Nazi pug in Britain to see.
That's actually exactly where I was going.
Where hate speech laws are.
In the United
where hate
States,
speech
you
laws
can
go.
legally and protected under the Constitution be a real, actual, not what I am, actual Nazi.
Oh yeah.
And it's protected. There's actually a Supreme Court ruling over it. You can be a
There's
fucking
multiple Supreme Court
right. You can be a
rulings over
fucking Nazi, a real one, and not just one that likes to trigger liberals. And it's protected. So a hate speech law goes against many Supreme Court rulings. I don't know if you've noticed recently, but the fucking courts apparently make the laws.
Oh yeah.
Because Trump will be like, I'm making a law, and the courts will be like, no.
Yeah.
And while I understand how the government works,
This is why the wall's taking so long.
it really is.
Fuck off, Ann Coulter, you cunt.
And Coulter.
Ann Coulter is still has dropped off the Trump train because he's not building the wall fast enough for her.
I mean, I don't see her picking up a hammer. Isn't she that...
Want to gas the Jews, boys?
I'm not answering that. Because there's literally 5 feet from me a copy of the Diary from Anne Frank. And, yeah, you're about to touch it. Nope, next section. Yeah, for those that don't know, who are tuning in the first time, we do this in my study, which has many books. One of them is the Diary of Anne Frank, which I don't remember purchasing, but somehow appeared in my World War II section. I didn't buy it, but it's there. It's right there. It's right there. I don't know where it came from. It just, like, materialized. Anyway, Ann Coulter. Old blonde woman.
Oh!
Old blonde woman?
I saw that.
What
I
about
didn't believe it.
What?
Cats of Sherman.
Yeah.
You guys hear about my law banning use of the word bitch in a derogatory manner?
I actually did hear about that,
I saw that. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it because I thought it was a satire.
That would put the rap industry just, like, in the fucking poorhouse. Like, think about it. Think about the industries. Not calling a woman a bitch would affect stripping, rap, movies, anything related to Hollywood, really.
Colleges.
Divorce courts. I think that about covers it.
Like, that.
But no, here's my pitch. If you make calling someone a bitch illegal, you impact the rap industry, which disproportionately is racist because it largely affects African Americans. Yes, that is my thing. That actually took a lot more work than I cared.
That will be illegal. That will be a legal argument someone will use. Most
yes,
likely.
and the hate speech. Yeah, that.
Yeah, Kat, I didn't believe it. I thought it was satire. Is it real?
Is that real? Like, is that a thing? I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. It would come from somewhere like fucking Portland, but...
Oh, it's got to be challenged in court. Okay. Like,
If it passes, let the divorce lawyers know. I mean, it doesn't shock me. That falls into the hate speech. Could you consider calling someone a bitch hate speech?
Yeah.
I grew up my entire life speaking German and being called a Nazi in a town that was founded by Germans. That could be considered hate speech. But interestingly enough, it inspired me to learn more about why I was being called that, and now I know more about any of that shit than anyone who called me that. Hate speech is so loose. I could walk to you and tell you look like shit today, and that can be considered hate speech. That won't pass, and thank God for our republic that it doesn't. And the day that it does will be the day that I may as well move to Germany because I'm going to be fucked by a government. It may as well be by one with good beer.
Personally, Megatron, I prefer cunt.
It's not as elegant sounding.
Exactly.
I mean, cunt, bitch, meh. I mean, personally, hold on, I had it. I gotta let you guys know, I'm pretty shit-faced. So, cunt is good. Bitch is better. Wench.
Yeah, I could see winch.
Why not? A wench. Did you see that Geico commercial? It says, I need a wrench. And he sent over a lady, and he goes, a wrench. This is why Geico is winning the advertising wars. By the way, think about it. Best commercials you see, fucking insurance these days. It's true.
Yeah, even Doritos has failed in their
Doritos used to have it, and then like
Doritos
somewhere in
had
2009 they lost it.
Yeah, Doritos had it. And like every year,
Super Bowl, Doritos commercial, yeah.
Doritos wins.
And then just they fired the guy, I guess, or he went to another company. Like, I don't know. But Geico, I think, is one of the advertisers.
Are you being... John, are you being literal or are you being satirical at this point?
About which?
Cunt.
About what thing?
I do like cunt. Depends on the situation. That's a direct quote. I can't tell whether he's talking about
I don't know.
in general or like the word.
Rap song, bitches. Cunt means please stop talking female. The English language is a funny thing.
Yeah.
Context. But personally, I think calling a woman a bitch over a cunt is a slightly more elegant. That's like asking. That's not setting the bar that high. But if I had to pick, if I wanted to not sound like a complete rube, I would go with bitch.
Anyway.
If only given the two choices, if I used another word, I'd be shot. I would go with bitch over cunt.
Yeah.
Personally. Wow, is this the level of...
I think we're just interacting with the audience at this point.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what our appeal is, isn't it?
Yeah.
God knows no one cares about our opinions. I don't. I'm here and I don't care about our opinions. Now, you had another thing.
I don't have another thing.
Yes, you did. You told me something with the Washington Post and history. That's all I know. Like, headlines.
Oh, we were going to do like a bit where we went through different major events and changed the headlines that the Washington Post would publish.
Let's do it. I'm drunk enough for this. Hold on. Let me just take one more large gulp here.
You can go ahead and start.
Okay. Well, let's... Where are we starting in American history?
American history.
Okay, that helps. Misogynistic straight white males brutally harass diverse empire of peace. What event am I talking about? Yeah. That could really cover most of it.
Yeah.
They harass representatives of the empire of diversity.
Nah, narrow it down more.
Aggressive straight white males interfere with diverse commerce of world's most diverse empire.
Saudi Arabia?
I mean, no.
No.
Further back.
How far back are we going?
Very far. Think the beginning, my friend. Think of the beginning, my friend. The very beginning. If the audience gets it before you, I'm slapping you. Come on, audience. Please help me out. Diverse empire. Straight white males.
You can't see the chat, and I can. So I can answer when it pops up.
I'm looking now. Damn it. He's right, though. Way back. The beginning. The beginning. Come on, I can't give you any more than this. Come on.
Rome. No, it wouldn't be Rome.
No, not that beginning. Our beginning.
Colonization? Really?
You said American history. Where does America begin? Straight, white, libertarian males harass empire of diversity.
That doesn't count. No, Britain is not a diverse nation.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
They've invaded 200 countries.
Which says a lot about their currency.
It does. But yes, so you're on track. They are the most diverse.
The Revolutionary War.
Yes, and they are the most diverse empire that's ever existed. Fight me. They are. You want to know why? Bring it. I dare you.
No.
Yeah, because you know I'm right, fucker.
Go next.
No, it's your turn.
Fuck.
Ha! Bring it, motherfucker.
Like, the issue is, you came up with all of these.
Because I'm better than you. Come on. You got 30 seconds. I'm going to hit you with another one. Our viewers clearly have better shit to do.
Religious scholars experience flight travel. Well, I had this.
How many have you had? Not enough. Continue.
Hold on. I put the equivalent of 2 shots in.
Oh God, 2 shots.
No,
bitch ass.
that was down. That was in the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
I filled it. I refilled it. I dumped like another shot in without refilling it with Coke. Then I think 2 more shots before I added the end of this can. I've had like 5 shots.
5 whole shots. I had 17 on election night. You're weak. Continue.
You had 17 on election night on a dare.
So?
I'm choosing this.
I chose that. Yeah.
Anyway.
What you got now, motherfucker? Come on. Religious scholars impede air traffic, cause major disaster. Really?
What?
You're gonna go with that?
What?
Go with that. Hold on. I can do it better.
Go for it.
Group of religious scholars encounter multiple aerospace tragedies in New York City. Yeah, for our viewers who may not get it. Let's continue. If we're going to go down that road, if we're going to go down the road of completely dark humor, so dark it pulls over for dented windows dark, on a bike.
At least someone got it.
Yeah, so he got it.
Yeah, someone got it.
So someone got it. We're going to leave it there so that we don't get drone striked by George W.
As our first shirt is going to be, do you hear a drone?
Oh, fuck, we're going to get drone striked. And you know what? We're going to deserve it. I've got a better one for you. Straight white invaders harass innocent foreign tourists on French beach.
I know what this one is. I know what this one is. Audience, what's your best guess?
We were just minding our own business and then they started shooting at us.
Hans, are we the bad guys?
They weren't. Too soon. Okay, what other headlines from...
Just got it.
Okay, from what other lines from history are we going to go with here that the Washington Post would cover? No, that one's too easy. No, that one's too obscure. See, that's the problem with being a history major. I don't know what the common man knows. We already did that one. Hold on. Nope. Because I mostly can't gather my thoughts on that one.
Saving co-host Ryan, I like that.
I appreciate that, because, if I keep drinking, I'm going to need some saving pretty soon.
I'm not giving you mouth to mouth.
You would kill to give me mouth to mouth, and we both know it. That's why there's that barrier between us. And a gun. Stop it. I will kill you.
So much for that barrier, huh?
You see this bottle of Fireball? Do you want it cracked over your head?
Not particularly.
This won't be the first time I've been drunken in a fight, and it won't be the last.
Not particularly.
That's what I thought. Stay on your side of the barrier. Stay in your designated zone. Here, sew this on your clothes. Let's see. There's got to be more than this. We as a country have to have more than just D-Day and the Revolution. That doesn't make us sound terrible. Nope, that's a little too dark. We're a pretty boring country.
Yeah, apparently. We're also fairly young. If we switched it over to European history, we'd have a lot more to work with.
Would we, though? That our audience would understand? Benevolent... Nope, that wouldn't work.
Unique interpretation of Catholicism.
Oh, God, I'm not touching that one. Nope, I don't want to get drone strike by the fucking Pope.
Unique interpretation of Catholicism during Spanish Reconquista finds much corruption.
Spanish Civil War covered by the Washington Post?
No.
They did recently, speaking of news, they dug up the body of not James Franco, but Dictator Franco.
DeFranco?
Yes, of Spain, and moved him to another cemetery.
Why?
Because Spain.
Well,
that's all I got. So they dug up his dead body.
What I think most people don't understand about Spain is not a country. It's a separate. It's like
Spain,
5 different countries.
Spain is a country in the way that Italy is a car manufacturer.
Yeah. It exists as a country.
Sure,
But only by the barest definition of the word. You can go from one point of Spain to another. Yeah, you're right, cats.
Spain is... I've had friends that went to Spain, and they don't ask the right questions. I actually had a friend, a female, went to Spain, came back with a Spanish boy. He and I had some conversations. He didn't like my conversations because I straight asked him, "Are you a fascist?" And he went, "No." And I went, "Are you a communist?" And I went, "No." And I said, "What kind of Spaniard are you?" And he went, "A boring one." I said, "You're a liar." Anyway, most girls I know that go to Spain come back with men, and most men that I know that go to Spain wind up in Germany. So, you know, there is that to consider.
I don't want to wind up in Germany.
Well, see, communist. Spain is so far the only country to successfully kick out all the Muslims.
Yeah.
Germany, take note.
Personally, I'd go to like Hungary or something, or Poland.
Why the? No, the women in both of those countries are beautiful. I had a Polish professor, and to this day she haunts my dreams. When she wore jeans, it was a matter of bulletin. And what I mean by that is, when she wore jeans, an actual bulletin went out. She was gorgeous, and quite honestly, if I wasn't married, I would have made an ass of myself just to get her attention. So good choices there, but you're gay, so that would be the equivalent of a blind man going to a magic show.
Russia.
Yeah, your kind aren't welcome in Russia.
I know.
Your kind get beaten in Russia.
I know.
Let's go to Russia. You and me both. Let's go. Because I'm going to tell them you're gay as soon as we hit the airport, and I'm going to film it for our viewers. Look, I found a gay! Be like the Inquisition. I would enjoy it. I think I would enjoy our trip to Russia much more than you would.
You would enjoy anything involving me in pain.
Not anything. Good try, though.
Mm.
I'm on to you, you sadist motherfucker. But what other headlines do we got from history? Just in history in general. We already did Hitler. We already... I mean, I could maybe work up something with Rasputin. But no one... Do our viewers know who Rasputin is?
Japanese business entrepreneurs.
Okay.
There's established new forward base in China.
Is that what we're going with?
That was the first thing I came up with.
Wow.
Since we're on the road of dark and disturbing
entrepreneurs. I mean, okay. In that sense, local Japanese aviators help with U.S. Navy scrap problem. I mean, if we're just gonna Leroy down that road.
Try to guess both. Try to guess both, audience, because I know what both are.
What else have we got?
You don't count, Megatron. You know what this is. Stop voting.
Stop voting. That's what the left would like you to do, is stop voting. Keep voting, Megatron. Fight the left. He's the left. I don't believe him. What other historic events have we got that can be covered by the Washington Post? I'm trying to stay on course here, and it's not going well.
It's not going well either.
No, that's the Saxons. I can't go quite that far back. Shit.
Ben Affleck movie.
Ben Affleck movie.
What?
Have we got spam posts?
No.
Oh.
Well, John's right. It's Pearl Harbor. The second one was Pearl Harbor.
He's right. Which, by the way...
Ben Affleck wasn't in Pearl Harbor.
Yes, he was.
I haven't seen Pearl Harbor.
You fucking disgust me.
Mwah.
Keep away. I would like our audience to answer a question that was actually asked this week. In terms of battle scenes, the D-Day scene from Saving Private Ryan or the Pearl Harbor attack in the Pearl Harbor movie, which do you think is best?
I like the D-Day scene from Saving Private Ryan.
Pearl Harbor scene all the way. Why? One scene in particular, the rolling over of the USS Oklahoma. That fucking hit me right here. And World of Warships, in case one of our 5 viewers works for them, give me the Nevada or the Oklahoma. I play your game religiously, more than I care to admit. Shit, I'm actually at a loss, but that's also because I am 3 sheets to the wind.
Me too. I think we're almost done now.
We covered Pearl Harbor, D-Day, 9/11. Yeah, we're pretty much there.
Yeah.
As a country, we're actually fairly boring. Wait. Local political enthusiasts takes problem to Oklahoma City government office. Yes, guess that one. It's dark.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Good God, man. Come on.
Prost. There we go.
Cat says Saving Private Ryan.
I'm going to have to disagree. We got 2 viewers. I'm hoping somebody sides with me on this one.
We have 4.
4?
Yeah.
Well, one of them's you.
Oh, yeah.
So, 3. We have 3 viewers, and I'm really hoping the other 2 vote for Pearl Harbor. What else have we got?
Tim McCabe.
Who?
I don't know.
New guy? We got a new guy? Oh,
no,
damn.
Cat.
Oh. Tim, you mean Tim McVeigh?
Yeah.
Cat's got it.
Yeah, Cat's got it.
Finally, we got a mad lad with us. Yes, that is absolutely right.
John says Pearl Harbor.
This is why John is our best follower right now. Yeah, when you try to put Washington Post headlines on a lot of our history, unless you're a history major, it's a stretch.
Anyway, but I think we're almost done for the night. We've almost hit 2 hours.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We've got 5 more minutes.
Can we kill 5 minutes?
I don't think we could kill 5 minutes doing this.
We can kill. You and I can kill 5 minutes doing just about anything. Stay on your side. I'm on to you.
Hold on. Let me go on.
Don't go reading shit off Reddit.
Let me see if I can.
We're not the Channel 2 News from How I Met Your Mother, where they actually read the newspaper. No, that one might be a little too dank. See, I've got a lot of good stuff, but I feel like it's too obscure. Although they did get Timothy McVeigh. Environment strikes back against local ship.
The one where Sheriff Woody remembers his past life?
The one where Sheriff Woody...
What?
Actually, I think that's got me. That's mostly because Toy Story 4 ruined Toy Story for me. Did you see Toy Story 4?
No.
Don't. They should have stopped at Toy Story 3. Moving on. Yeah, no, really, that's all I got. We, as a country, really don't have the interesting history that, like, England does, where they fucking try to build a construction site of literally anything and find some bones of some king from, like, 500 years ago. Like, have you heard about that shit? Like,
no.
Just England in general is the country to be. Hang around a construction site and you can be an archaeologist. Yeah, no, you know what? I am fucked up, and I happen to know I'm fucked up. For the sake of our viewers, I can safely say that while I have a...
This one's funny.
What you got?
Phone sex line number printed as suicide hotline on middle school student ID cards.
So, instead of the suicide hotline, you get a sex number.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone here contest that sex is really pretty much the only reason to live?
I damn sure ain't contesting it.
That's because... Never mind. Other than sex, what else do we have as a species? Money? She'll take half of that with the sex. If she's any good at it. But I appreciate that troll.
Yeah.
Yep, no, I'm pretty sure that's all we've got for this week. I can't wait until we actually have a dedicated subject to talk about.
No kidding.
So hopefully you cocksuckers in DC can chill for like a week.
Like, chill. Seriously.
For a
chill.
week. Like, calm down. And I say this because when there's one thing we're going to talk about, I have some time to do some research. However, you motherfuckers keep doing so many fucking things that this motherfucker over here keeps springing shit on me, and I've got nothing. I've got nothing, and quite honestly, if the truth comes out, we're going to get banned from YouTube. So,
anyway,
I need DC to, like, slow it down. For a Congress, you know, everyone says congressmen don't do anything. What the fuck? Slow down. We will get to you. That being said, Katie Hill, you keep doing your sexual stuff. Beto, have fun being dead or whatever you're going to be. We've covered it all. Slow down, DC. And I say that because, one, my beer budget is limited, and I can only get so drunk to where I'm comfortable talking about you motherfuckers after so many. I think the count is 6. DC, slow it down.
All right.
We're going to try to have a dedicated topic for you next week, but honestly, if these crazy bastards keep doing what they're doing, we can't promise that.
No promises are made. That being said, I think we've finally pegged down a time when we will be here. So
9 on Saturdays?
9 o'clock every Saturday from
Fuck
now
it.
on will be a live stream. So hopefully y'all can show up not about like fourth of the way, like 3/4 of the way through, and get to listen to us all the whole way through next time.
I mean, if you want, personally, I never know if you're listening or not. This bastard has control of the computer. But I like it when you're here. Your feedback is valuable to him. Tune in. We'll be here at 9 on Saturday. Why, you ask? Because I'm married, so I don't have any dates, and, well, he has no game. So we'll be here.
Very true. I have the game of a fish.
A fish? Let's give ourselves some credit.
They spawn in groups.
That's kind of my point. You're not good in a group setting, my friend.
Fair enough.
You spawn on the internet.
Y'all have a nice day.
Later.